So, good evening, one and all. It's me, Atharva, and with me, we have the facilitator for this ASG, that is Aniket. So, today, as you know, that this is our second session, and I hope that you guys have followed up with the session one, which was about discussing regarding Kotlin, right? So, so quickly, let us just have a poll in starting. So, all of you just go onto this website called slido.com, enter in this code. You can go via a laptop also or use your phone too. So just join this slido.com. So here's the poll that how many paths have you completed? So as you know that you have to complete certain paths, and at total we have 6 paths, right? So we have to complete those paths. So where do you stand? Let us understand. So because depending on this, we'll be having this session going on. 3 or 4, good. By the way, the most important thing is that today we are going to have the first app for those who haven't started any path. So today you're going to create your first app. So it is highly recommended if you guys have a high computational laptop, that is very good. If no, I would really recommend you guys to have a spare phone like this. Like this is a phone which I use for instead of using online simulator. I go for such a phone. So this is also okay. I'm too busy. Cool, cool. So I don't see anyone of you have completed all these 6 paths. All right, all right. So is it that your exams are going or something? Midsems. When are they? Anyone? Cool, it's okay. Yeah, gaming laptop is enough. But again, depends upon the thing. But what I would really recommend is to have a spare phone. That is just my suggestion. So okay, cool. Um, now let us begin with the actual session. Handing it over to Aniket. So firstly, what we are going to discuss today is regarding the uh, overview of Android Studio. Then we'll be talking about USB debugging. Then later on, talking about layouts, XML. Many of you must not be knowing the intrigue things in each and everything. So we'll be talking about them as well, and view group constraints and so on. So at the end, stay tuned till the end as we're going to make our first step. So handing over to Aniket.
Give me a minute, Chia. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, Aniket.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I will just open my Android Studio. Yeah, so whenever you open your Android Studio, it will just open like this. If you have not made any project earlier, so what you need to do is click this create new project. Then there are many types of apps that you can make for phone and tablet, for watches or Android TV, or Android is now available in car audio system and video system also. So in this Android session, we will just make an app for phone or tablet, and there are many template activities that Android provides for that like prerequisite code is already written, but we will just start from an empty activity. Mm, yeah. Now in this name, this is your project name, what your app will be called. So give it any name. I will give it some practice. Yeah. And then there's a package name. Now, if you ever open any where it is Google Play Store, Google Play Store, every app has a unique package name. Like no two websites can have the same website address. Like the two uh, mobile apps cannot have the same package name. If you want to publish it on Google Play Store, the same package name should not have been used anywhere. So it's a general practice that we write it in reverse order. Like website is like something www dot some name then dot com. So in this case, we write it in a reverse order like com.aniket.practice. Initially, when you are not uploading your application anywhere, you can just name it anything you like, but maintain this order like com dot something dot your this app name. Then save location is automatically choose. You can change that also, and make sure to select the languages Kotlin. There are two options, Java and Kotlin. Make sure to select Kotlin, and this is the minimum SDK. Now, Android apps, as you have seen, many apps, if you install on some older devices, they will not install saying that your app is not compatible with the version. So we will set it as Android 4.4. There are many options like latest one is Android 12, I guess, and API 31 it is called. But if we set it, most of the Android apps, like if I select this, it shows that your app will run only on less than 1% of your devices, because many very few users have this Android 12 on their mobile. So we will choose Android 4.4 as our default minimum SDK. That means any app, any mobile that has operating system of Android 4.4 and up will be able to run this app. So after choosing that, we will just press finish, and the Android Studio will just set up the app for us. You can see the progress here. The Gradle. The Gradle is the file where all the properties of your app are there. So it will take some time when you create a new project. Yeah, till this is being configured, I will just show you how to turn on your USB debugging on your mobile and use your Android mobile for downloading apps. So I will just share my mobile screen also. Yeah, so you can see my mobile here. So you need to go to your settings, and depending upon mobile in general, it's in the about phone, or it may be written something else. So go to that and just click on your mobile version. I have a Xiaomi mobile, so it's showing MIUI version. Samsung may show something different. Just click on it sometime. If you don't find where this particular option is, just Google for your particular mobile how to turn on developer settings. This is I have Android 11 of Xiaomi, so this is how it looks, and you have to click it 7 times. I am already a developer, so it's showing no need you are a developer. When you have clicked it 7 times, just search developer options, scroll down a bit, and you will find USB debugging.
Bhaiya, we
So
have to
make
click on Android version.
hmm, no, Android version will open something different. There is something like build number. It depends on mobile to mobile. In my case, it's under MIUI version. I guess Samsung shows it like build number. Yeah. So if anyone of you has tried, you can post that in the chat box. Yeah. You can also Google search for your particular mobile how to turn on developer options. So just turn on this USB debugging option and make sure that the install via USB option is also turned on. Yeah. Okay. So whenever you turn on USB debugging and connect your device through the USB cable to your laptop, you will see your devices being showed up here. Like I have the Xiaomi mobile, so it's showing Xiaomi and the mobile number, mobile device ID, whatever it is. Yeah. Otherwise, you will see some AVD manager. These are virtual devices. I do not recommend you use virtual device because they are a bit laggy and will hamper your computer speed. Okay. So I will just show you also how the app works. Just a minute. So I have not made any changes to the app right now, but it's just the basic app. From here you can just run your app. Yeah, it will take some time to build and then it will show. The time is taken only when you create a project or you are running your app for the first time. Subsequent time is very less compared to this. I guess it will take some 1 minute or so. Yeah, so you can see the practice, the name of the app we created is shown here, and some hello world is written here. We will see why it's written here in a short while. And the app icon you can see, it's in the corner right side you can see the app that I have just created. Okay. So now in the Android Studio, whenever you create an new project, you will see two files over here: main activity.kt, kt stands for Kotlin, and main activity.xml. XML is a markup language. So let's see. There's a doubt, I guess. Just a minute. Yeah, Rohan, please.
Here it's showing I am a developer, but I'm not able to find the developer options in my phone. I even checked through Google. It is still not visible.
Go to your settings and try to search over in the search bar. Actually, it may be under the additional
Bhaiya,
settings.
in some phones it is build number.
Okay.
In Samsung it is build number.
Yeah. Okay.
Bhaiya,
Just
can you repeat what we have to do after switching on USB debugging?
but just connect your mobile to your laptop or desktop, whatever you are using. You will see a pop-up in your mobile saying USB debugging and allow this device to connect. So just click remember this device and allow the USB debugging, and your mobile will show up here, written over here. Yeah. So in this project pane, you will see the all the files of your project. If it's selected to project, make sure to select Android here. And in the Android, you will see some folders like manifest, Java, resources. Let's talk about what they are. First of all, it's the manifest file. The manifest file is the main file that your Android operating system will read to know what your app actually is. So I will just make some changes in the manifest file after I am done with explaining and see what changes occur. So Java file is the file where all your pages or activities. What is activity? Activity is just a screen of your app. Whenever you open an app, you will see some 4 to 5 screens in any general app. So that is that particular screen is known as activity in Android domain. So Java is the folder where you will see all those activities. and activities are further divided into two parts. The one is the code for that activity that will help you interact with that page, and the second is the XML file. XML file is what you design, the designing you will see, or the whatever you layouts you will see in that are all contained in the XML file. Then there is the resource folder. Resource folder further has sorry resource folder further has four subfolders. The first is the drawable folder. Drawable folder is the folder which has all the images or any videos, anything you will add extra to your app. Second is the layout. Layout is where your all these XML files are there. XML files, the layout files. Then is the mipmap folder. Mipmap folder is also used in some icons you use in your app. And then is the values folder. Values folder contains some colors, already stored colors and strings. You will not encounter these things in beginning apps, but as you go to developing more and more apps, you will need to make some modifications to these files also. So as I was saying, I will just make some changes in the Android manifest file to show you something. So if you remember, when I ran this app on your mobile, the practice was the name of my app that was being shown. I can just change it to something else. Like I just change it to my first app, and I will just run it again. Yeah, so you can see the my first app is being written over here. So always you can change your Android application name from here. Don't try to make any other modifications to this file, because this is the heart of your Android application. If something goes wrong, your app will crash here. Okay, so that was for Android manifest. Now let's see what the XML file is. Just so you remember, when I just installed this app, I was able to see this hello world written over here. So this is the this is the page where all the designing will go into, how your page will look like when you run this app. So in case I just change this hello world text, so I just select it. So there's an attribute panel over here. You can just select this element hello world and just change the text over here. So like, hi, this is my first app. So if I just change it and try to run, so you can see the text has been changed over here. Just the black part is because I have dark mode turned on. I will just turn it off. Yeah, so you can see the similarity. Whatever you see here will be shown in your app. Okay, so all this styling and the all you add to this, we will see adding button, image view, recycler view, all these. It has some.
Prathamesh has some doubt. You can
Okay,
speak up,
sure.
Prathamesh.
Bhaiya, have you turned on the emulator on your computer, or how that window opens of your mobile there?
Okay, so that
No.
mobile is some different software. It is not related to Android.
Okay, because
Android Studio.
I'm not able to understand that thing well.
Yeah, that is just that is something different. I will share with you if you want that. That has
Okay.
nothing to do with this Android Studio.
Oh,
This I just turned on because I want to show my mobile screen also along with this screen.
okay.
Yeah. So I was talking about, yeah, all the things you add on this page have something code behind it, and the code is which known as XML, the Extensible Markup Language. I guess most of you have some experience with working with HTML. So if you just click here, split mode from here, code split design, it may be something different. Your buttons may be somewhere down or depending upon your version, but you will still find all these things. So you can see there is some code written over that controls what is being shown over here. So and if you try to look at very carefully, you will find much similarity with the HTML code you always write, because HTML is also a markup language. So in the same way, it has some tags, some classes, or the how you properties you modify it, and some closing tags. All this thing is just similar with HTML, and you don't need to make any changes to the code while you are making some beginner friendly apps. But as you go on making some complex app, you will need to make some changes to this code also. So I will just show how it the differences occur. I will just select this button and drop it over here. So we'll see a button is added over here in the code also. So I will just turn off this code window now for now. Okay. So Android Studio has some views for showing all these buttons. There are many like linear view, horizontal view, or the constraint layout view. So what are these views? These help you to align all these buttons or whatever you add on your app. So like I just move it over here. But if I run this app, I will try to run. Yeah, you can see that button is not where we wanted it to be. So this is because every mobile app or Android device has some different screen size, and while placing it over here, just Android Studio cannot determine where to place it actually, because different screen sizes have different widths, different height. So we need to constrain it. Constrain it means you need to attach and tell the Android Studio where actually that button should be. So you see, whenever you add this, you will get these 4 dots. So you need to constrain it. Just select the first one and drag it to the top of the screen. So it is constrained from the top. Now, similarly, just select the bottom one and constrain it with the bottom of the screen. Now, the vertical constraint is done. Do it with the horizontal sideways also. This and this. So now it's now over the text we just wrote, and I will run this app again. So yeah, the button is now where we wanted it to be. So if you don't do the constraining also, you will see some error. Like I will just remove this constraint. You will see there is an error because Android Studio cannot determine on what horizontal length should the button be placed when it's actually installed on your mobile. So make sure whenever you add any these buttons or anything, you must constrain it with horizontally, vertically, and there should be no error. I will just do it again. Yeah. Also, you can constrain it with the other views you have already added. Views are generally these text view, image view, all these are known as views. So you can just constrain it with this also. So it is now constrained. Also, you can move it wherever you want. Just drag over here, first constraint, and drag wherever you want. Okay, so that was for the button. Now, how to change all this text. So I will remove this one. So you see there is a palette where it gives all the options, like these are the common views, then these are all the text views you can add. These are the types of buttons you can add on your app. Widgets, some layouts. These were the layouts I was talking about, linear layout, all these, constraint layout. There are many other features also. We will just talk about the common ones now. So text view is the main view where you can add anything, any text you want to add. So whenever you drag a text, just constraint it from the top, from the bottom. Also, you can constrain in the right hand side. You can see the attributes panel. So you can just click this plus buttons. Also, it will automatically add a constraint. So you can do in this way also. So these attributes are what will determine how your text view or whatever you write will appear. First is the text thing. So here you write what you want to show. So hello, my name is Aniket. So this is change over here. Then maybe you want to increase the size. So just there's a search button over here, search size and text size. Increase it. This is our SP. This is a unit of size. So size independent pixels. This what is SP is. As I told, there are many different types of Android devices, and every device has some different screen size. So if you go into pixels, uh, like whenever you buy a mobile, you will see that it has some resolution of some 1480 or something pixels. So if you go by that, then the pixel size in one app, the text will show very big, or in the other maybe it shows very little. So size independent pixel is, it doesn't depend upon the pixel resolution of your device. So whatever you select here, it will show on every device in the same way. So I select that 18 sp, so the size is increased. Yeah. Also, there are many other attributes for this text view. You can search like bold, uh, text size. Uh, you can just scroll over here and find many of the attributes like text style. You can make it bold, italics also, or you may want it to, if there's a bigger text, you may want it to centrally align or right align. So there's a gravity option. So just select center vertical, or maybe you want it in the right side. So these are all the different types of attributes you can adjust for any of the text view. Okay, then for the button also, there's uh, many types of attributes, but in general you won't need so many attributes. Still you need to change a color or something. Like for button, it's background tint, so you can just change it to some red maybe. Yeah. Oh, sorry, got changed to white. Yeah. So this is how you can change the color of the button. And then if you want to change the text of the button, just select your button and change it to something. Click me. You will see that text is written over here. We have not seen yet the how we implement the buttons, how it will show in your app. Uh, it is just how this will look in your application. Okay, that was it. Then you can add images also from here, like carry an image view over here. This is opens up a picker resource file, so you can see some sample photos you have, or you may select some photo of your own choice and add it to you. I will just show how to add. If I see if I have some photo in my desktop. Um, Yes, there must be some app photos. Yeah, I found one. Yeah. So whenever you want to add some photos, just wherever it is on your device, just select copy that, go to this drawable folder and just click paste. So it will show you choose your destination library and press OK. And it asks you for some name. I will just sample image and press refactor. So it will add that photo in here. Yeah. Okay. So there's a standard rule that you must start your photo or any a resource that you add with a small case letter. I started with a big case, that is why it is showing one error. I will just correct it. Where is the rename? Yeah. So just drag your image view over here and you can see that all the apps, all the images you add on your own. So I added this image. So just select this and press OK. You will see your photo visible over here. Just we can drag it over here, add the constraints. If you want to align it in line in the center with this text view, you can also align like this. Like just select this, move this over here and move this to this. So it will align it in the directions what this particular text view is. For the top, I will just add it to the above constraint and the lower to this text view. So it is now constrained. And just let's try running this app once. Okay, so Android resource not found. Okay, maybe I can add it, that drawable, to the main folder also. Actually, I copied it from one of my other projects, so it is giving one error. We can copy any JPG or PNG file and that will work. Since it's copied from another project, that's why it's giving an error. For now, I will remove it and just add a sample image over here. Yeah. Just I'm running this app once. We can see what all is happening. The image didn't occur. What's the issue? Maybe my dark mode is giving some error again. Actually, my device has some issue. It doesn't displays whenever I turn on the dark mode. So if you try this once on your app, it will show up. Yeah. Also, whenever you are dealing with the Android Studio, you will face many of the errors like I just faced a bit while ago. So don't worry any of these occurs. Always just select that error and always check up on the Stack Overflow website. For example, if I just create an error on my own, Uh, how can I create an error, sample error? Tharva, give me some idea how to create some sample error. I'm not getting.
Take out some declaration from XML.
Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe I will just remove this thing. This is one of the important things XML must have. Yeah. So if I run this app again, there will be an error that will be popping up. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So this type of error you will encounter many a times. So to how I will just tell how to search for the errors on online. Just select this error, then go to your browser, paste it, and just select. Always you will find Stack Overflow issue regarding this. Open this and just follow the first answer that is written over here. Like it shows your first this XML Android, this line must be available in your Android resource file. I just removed it, that's why the error is being shown over in my Android Studio. So whenever you encounter any error, just Stack Overflow it. No, just Google it and open the first answer on the Stack Overflow. You will find what the error is, and mind it, you will face many errors while doing your Android development. So just don't worry, copy that error and Google it. We also know that you won't be able to understand what all is written over here. It's some complex coding. I also don't know what that means. So just Google it, your errors. If you still are not able to recollect what's wrong, just post it on the group. We will try to see what's the issue over here. Yeah. So that was for adding the text views and buttons. Let me know if you have any errors till now. You have any doubts till now. Uh, just wait for some time. Mm, yeah. If there are no other doubts, I guess Atharv, you can take up
Right.
and
Right now, there's one guy who asked how to connect device using enabling USB debugging. So,
okay.
hmm,
Yeah, I will just show once again on my device. So just go to your settings, then go to about phone. In the about phone, you will see this written. I have Xiaomi mobile, so it's showing MIUI version. In Samsung mobile, that one of you said, it's under the build version. So in different mobiles, it shows like different. Just click it 7 times. Whenever you click it again and again, you will see a pop up showing over here like you are 5 times away from being a developer, 4 times being a developer. So just click it, and after you click it 7 times, it will show you are now a developer. So then just search in your settings the developer options. In the developer options, I just scroll down and turn on this USB debugging from here. In other mobiles, you can also just if you have some like Realme mobile, Realme 8 it's showing up, just USB debugging. Just Google it. You will find many of videos or just tutorials on how to enable USB debugging on your particular mobile. Okay, there was one more question. I just want to know how to add any image on the screen. By any image, I mean the previously there on my laptop. Yeah, just select the copy that image, then go to your Android Studio and click click this drawable folder and just paste it over here. Like Control V, you can use, or just right click and click paste over here. So it will ask you to give a name of that image. Just give any name that you like and make sure that you give a you start that name with small case. That's convention used in Android Studio. Okay. Any other doubt? I guess the course that I shared has the first and second pathway talk about this only, adding this views and all. So yeah, please complete that as soon as possible. Okay, I guess there are no more doubts. Atharva, can you show some button
We'll talk about the
functionality?
attributes.
Oh yeah. You will share the screen or
No, actually, I haven't opened it, so I'll just share it from your part. You just
okay,
go on to
sure.
Android Studio.
Yeah.
First, let us talk about attributes. What is attributes? Attributes is basically the glamorizing part of your app, right? So as you can see, there's a whole panel on your right side of the screen that is talking about the attributes. So this basically is the, you can talk about it being, it talks about the identity, it talks about the glamorizing part, it talks about all the details that a particular object, a view group can have, right? So if Aniket, can you just click on some button or anything, any
Yeah.
text view? Yeah. So now when you clicked on the text view, then there's the first thing which is written is that ID. ID is basically by name itself. It is the identification thing for a particular view group, right? So here what we understand is that it has to be unique, and hence you can change it. If you can change from text view to something other, and you can refactor it. So that is about the ID, and it has to be unique for all the elements which are present in that particular app, right? Now there is something about how do you align it. Now Aniket had just drag dropped things, and he had aligned in such way. At times when you have many what do you say, many view text views, many buttons, many images, then there it will be a little clumsy for you. And when you want to organize it properly, you have something over here which is called layout width, layout height. Then as Aniket even showed you, the constraint width. So over there you can, it's sort of like hard coding the thing, but that is again helpful because you have various options to do. You can have margins, you can have paddings. So we'll talk about it in the subsequent. uh, so firstly, what is layout width? So there are two options over here, which is wrap content. Aniket, can you just hover
Yeah.
over it, and match parent? So just
Yeah,
click match
match
parent.
constraint to match parent.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it is basically taking the whole area which is there for it, right? So that is about match parent. So right now it looks really clumsy, but there are instances wherein each of them has its own application, right? Then you have constantly get this is all here. You can just directly keep in the margin which you want.
Yeah, you can just increase or decrease margins over here directly.
Now, yeah. So as Aniket even told you, right, he has kept the text as "Hello, my name is Aniket." So instead of that, if he wants to, just if he wants to take some input kind of thing, there is something wherein you can give a hint. But here he has just given it a text wherein the person who is viewing the app cannot actually change it. So this is something which is pre-made. It has to look the way it is, right? So that is about the text. Um, then text appearance, you can change the style. So basically, right now he has changed it. He has the default style which has been added. If you click on the at the right side, you have a small rectangular thing. So basically, you can change the font. You can add your own fonts from Google using the APIs and all. So that is all about. You can play around with it. Then you have the text color. You can change the color by name itself. So basically, whatever you see in Word, that you can change the appearance of each and every sentence. So that is what can happen with this. Now coming to all attributes, so there are a lot of attributes. Like honestly saying, there are many of them which we also don't know, because we there is enormous infinity amount of thing wherein you can glamorize a particular view group, right? So I'll just be talking about some very very important attributes which we'll be covering. So
Yeah, I will just scroll to some. Yeah, one is the font
font
family.
family. So
Yeah.
basically, as Aniket has shown that in drawables you have all the picture images. You have one more XML file, I suppose, which has all the font stored in it. So basically, if you want to save a font and you want to keep the whole app organized in a particular font, then you can save the font which you get from there, and you can directly select it from font family. So
Yeah, you can just choose this, and there are many you can choose. Like in this case, it's showing around 7 of them. No, there are many others also. But if you want to select any font that are available in the Android Studio, you can just uh, search
download those fonts. Yeah, you
whole
can download the
this
font.
library of fonts. You can just select any of the font that you like. You can add your own font also. I will just quickly show you. Just if you go to this values and this themes, I guess. Okay. I have not added any font as of now,
Yeah.
so there is no font folder. But if in case you want to add, you just need to create a new Android resource directory, and then you need to. But I guess you don't. You won't need that because there are already so many fonts available in this. So yeah,
All right.
then it's the
So
gravity.
there is gravity. Gravity is basically again the way you want to. Again, these are all things wherein you're aligning or you are positioning a particular thing in the text view. So if you keep it gravity right, then it is the text which is in there. It is aligned to the, what do you say, right side of the constraint which is provided to it. Then that is about gravity. You would be using gravity many number of times. Then you have
Uh,
Verisent. Yeah, क्या ऊपर?
which one?
Hint. Okay, anyways, go down.
Okay, then we will, I guess, have that padding one. Yeah.
Padding, huh? So basically, padding is the inner thing, and margin are the outer spacing which you give. So basically, at a macro level, you wouldn't be understanding the difference of how it is visualized. But when you go into the micro level, then you can see that the padding is the inner thing, wherein you are trying to separate each and everything, every text view, so that it looks better.
I will just show once for this text view only. Like if I add this padding of 10 dp, so we will see this box grows out of, because the text which I have written and the box dimension, the difference in that, the width difference between that is known as padding. So if I increase it to 100 dp, you will see that box size grows larger. So the text, if I add more, the at least this amount 100 dp is also a unit of size, so this amount of space will remain empty, so that is known as padding. You are padding that text, that this amount of space should not be used. This is useful to separate, like if you add an image, and that then you need that it should have some difference between that, distance between that. So for that we add the padding one. Similarly, there is some outer dimension also that will come, I guess,
You
later
can even
on.
have like independent
Margin. Yeah.
padding wherein you can give 10 dp to one side, 100 dp to other side. And one more thing about dp and sp. So dp is basically density independent pixels, and the other one is scale independent, right? So when now when you're developing a website, then you have, when you zoom in, if you have seen some website, then they are not responsive. What does responsive mean is that when you zoom in, then it just shatters around. And the same thing can happen from devices to devices. Now if Aniket is trying on mi device, probably the device size would be this much, then Samsung, my phone, would be comparatively bigger. Then if I want the same output to happen, then I would be using dp. SP would be SP is basically even extended version wherein you are even using that for the fonts, wherein the user can change for the fonts as well. So that is about SP. Yeah, going down. And
Yeah.
text hue, text color, text name, okay,
I guess that's all we
Hmm.
Okay. So one last thing I want to show, because that will be used next time when we do some coding part. So I will just add some plain text over here. Like I want to show what happens. I will constrain it like here, here, and here. So I can just change over what the name that is written. I can change it also. That text part, I will just this text is what will be written over here when I just run this app. So I will make this empty, and I will just search for hint thing. I will add it hint over here. Enter your name. So hint is when you are not filling that any form, you will see that something is written over here, and as soon as you click over here, that part is just deleted. So that is hint, that is called. I will run this app once. Yeah. Yeah, so there's some enter your name. When I click this on my device, you can see I can just now type my name like this. So this is known as some plain text view that you can add to uh, make some responsive apps like that have changes, yeah, or you can just modify whatever it's written over here. So we will see how to interact with these type of views, how to interact with button, like what should happen when I click this button, or this name should be submitted somewhere, or some changes that should happen in our next session that is planned in 2 days or 3 days time. So just try over it, uh, this text view, and make some your own apps. Basic app, just try to add these image views, these buttons, this text or anything, and please share your designs over the app. We would love to see what creative you are doing. Yeah. So that was all that we plan to cover in this session. If you have any doubts, please let us know. What is Gradle app running? So Nandaluri, Gradle is the operating system of this application. Like all whatever you do is the properties that are there in the application, or whatever you settings you did. So that is all compiled into this Gradle file. You don't need to modify it. Like you can see in the Android Studio, there is a Gradle scripts. These all files are there. You don't need to make any changes over here as of now. But as you develop more complex app, then you will see you need to change some values over here and that. So as of now, just ignore it. But yeah, remember that it has all the information that needs to be known to the Android Studio to compile your app. I'm getting two screen, one white and one blue. Okay, so actually, uh, whenever you create a new project, you will see two files, these two views. I have just turned off that blue one view that you are talking about. So that is actually, if I just enter a blank image over here, so what I will see is just white portion over here, but the blue one shows whatever things that are already like if you know some what is it called, lorem ipsum, that text. So that is a placeholder. Yeah, placeholder images that are shown in that blue view also. So that is the layout view that is shown, that is showing you what all things are there, but may not be showing on in this white one view. So you can just turn off. I don't remember I how I turned it off, but yeah, you can just turn it off for now, or you can just let it. Okay, yeah, design plus blueprint. Yeah, so this is showing that there's at some text. Sorry, there's an image view over here. There is the text view over in this particular file. Maybe if I upload some blank image like white image over here, so it will show that there is an image view, but in this view I will not be able to see any such view. So that is for the blueprint, like it's showing what all things you have added to your screen. Just for now you can just turn it off from here, layers, and just select the design view. If you have any doubts, please put them in the chat. Wi-Fi is not there are only two options. Either use Android virtual device, or use your physical Android device. Okay, I will just show for those who want to use Android virtual device. So just click it over here and select AVD manager. AVD stands for Android Virtual Device Manager. So I have one device over here. You can create a new virtual device. Just select category phone and just select any of the mobile, but make sure it has the Google Play facility in that, and you can see the size or what it is there. uh, my recommendation is use this Pixel, whatever it is, Pixel 2 with Android 11. Yeah, Pixel 2, just use it, click next, and then it will show you the image size, like which Android version you want it. R is the Android 12, I guess. Oreo was, yeah, just see what it is. Your R is Android 11. So you can select any of these. It's recommended that you download the latest one. Just download, it will take some time to download, and then create the next. Your Android virtual device will be created in this, and then whenever you run this, then Android virtual device will open up showing your app, but it's a bit slow, and may be there are some errors. I don't use personally because I face many errors with it. Like if I just try to run, there are many errors associated with it. So I don't recommend it. You use Android virtual device. You use your physical device only. But if you don't have some Android device, or you use just iPhone, then no problem. Yeah, in this case it ran like Android virtual device. This is not my actual device. This is Pixel 2 that was created from the Android virtual, and you can use that app also. In this case, you can just use this back buttons, all this. This is like a mobile in your screen. You can see this isn't responding. So there are many errors associated with it. Yeah. In the next session, we will cover how to interact with the app, how to code in Kotlin, and make some buttons and text views user responsive.
Yeah, so I guess that is it.
That is it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Nandalavi. Yeah.
Thank you
I'll
everyone
just
for
turn
joining.
off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, भैया.
Okay. Thank you, Atharv. I am just ending this meet.
Restore recording.
Yeah.
Hmm.